the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit gofan.co now. That's gofan.O.
All of college football starts the game like that. Absolutely explosive. 55 yards on the first play for LSU.
Well, they blitz these inside linebackers, which allows for a lot of green grass for Boutte to work on the slant. And when you get the ball in his hands, it's a problem. The guy is so explosive out of the break.
Johnson gonna go to the end zone, and Boutte! How about that? Solves all problems, doesn't he? Keyshawn Boutte, 31-yard touchdown catch.
How about the throw from Max Johnson, dropping it in the bucket. Two defenders in the area.
Johnson, pressure right in his face, and he is taken down, and taken down hard that time.
Look at Auburn along the front. I mean, they're just begging you to run the football. I mean, just begging you. You got nobody on the left side of the offensive line. Ed Ingram could have gone to the safety, and yet
looking for Robertson. They came up short on that night. 3rd and 15. Johnson drives it, pinpoint accuracy, and Jack Bech turns on the heat. 41 yards.
Yeah, just a great job of executing the mesh right here. You're going to see on the left side Smith. He's the pick man. Well, Bech comes free. And that was a great read there from Johnson. As you see those guys cross face, whoever wins as they cross face, that's where you got to go with the football. Hits him.
Nix trying to make magic. Still on his feet, and then chucks it to the end zone for a touchdown to Tyler Fromm. It was the right way for Bo Nix.
Hi, welcome back in. And if you also have been trying to join us on Bama Insider, and Bama Insider is now back up. We had some issues with not Bama Insider, but with the server that services the online streaming. So that is back up for you if you want to go there, as well as you're kind of moving throughout your day, but also all throughout our network and on our flagship station there, Tide 100.9 FM in Tuscaloosa, and 92.5 FM at 1260 AM Birmingham, and all the great station 97.7 up in Huntsville, and all the two stations over in Oxford and Anderson as well down south and on the Gulf Coast. So I just want to let you know that we're back up and running live stream, and look forward to that as well, Lars. But Bo Nix, what a night, and that was a turning point right there. The scramble, seen his dad do that many times in his collegiate days, reminding me a lot of him keeping his feet, staying competitive, and being able to get the ball down the field for the touchdown. He ends up 23 of 44, 255 yards, 1 touchdown. Max Johnson was 26 of 46, 325, and 1 touchdown, but the 1 interception as well. But Bo also carried the ball 12 times, 74 yards, 6.2 yard average, another touchdown on the ground. So for Bo Nix, look, tough night coming in, and seeing that he was not going to get the start. And, look, TJ had played so well the week before against Georgia State. And we all said, look, he may start, but Bo Nix has the experience. He's the one that's played in these type of environments. Don't be surprised if Harsin and his coaching staff were to pull TJ at some point and go back and look as Bo Nix being the guy that can lead them back to a victory, and he got it done.
This was the best game of Bo Nix's career, and I was thinking about you, Jay, because you told me the best game of your career came when you were benched. And look, Bo was admittedly upset about being benched last week, and Auburn's down 13-0. You think the game is over. They haven't won there in 22 years. And then he has these 2 incredible, wild fourth down conversions on back-to-back drives. And so Auburn puts up 10 unanswered points in the second quarter to go in the half, just trailing 13-10. And that first conversion that you were just talking about, that was 4th and 2 from the LSU 24-yard line. This is the key play of the game in my mind. So Bo gets the ball, rolls to his right, scrambles back to his left. I mean, he's covering like 50 yards here.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks a tackle near the sideline. As he's about to just get lit up, he sets his feet, and he finds Tyler Fromm wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Just I think it was the most remarkable play of Bo's career.
It was unbelievable. And again, just the momentum shift, but the competitiveness of him to keep the play active and to not give up, to never keep your eyes down the field. And, Bryce is really good about this. Sometimes I'm like, run, or, go ahead, let's get out. But he knows that internal clock, and he feels pressure so well from the peripheral. And so, Bo's learned to do that as well with his experience, but huge win. I mean, you got to give him credit for coming back in a hostile environment, being able to win the way that they did. And, I think right now for Harsin, that was a huge win for him to win over the Auburn family and to be able to say that, they won a big road game like that in the SEC. That goes a long ways for the people that are supporting you.
Yeah, and now you have to ask yourself, like, how far can Auburn go? They only have one loss here, and I know there's schedule stuff, and they got Georgia coming up. I mean, do you give
That's gonna
Auburn,
be the test? Yeah.
Do you give Auburn a puncher's chance against Georgia? I had a friend text me and on Sunday morning, and he said, "Look, I think I think Alabama and Georgia should just play 2 out of 3 games, and that should be it because it's Alabama, Georgia, and basically everybody else in college football, based on Oregon losing and so many other top teams in the country losing."
Yeah, to me, you play the game, and there's days where you might come out and catch a team like a Georgia or Alabama off their game. If that's they're going to have to be off their game, and you're going to have to play your perfect game to beat them. I think that the defense is just too strong offensively. Now, even with Cole Bennett, we saw what Georgia could put up the numbers against Arkansas. I thought Arkansas would really limit them with him at quarterback, and they didn't. He came out and just had a very, very solid day. I said Cole Bennett. Stetson Bennett. I know a Cole Bennett. Stetson Bennett ends up, what was he? Only had 7 of 11, 72 yards passing.
It's a defense.
And, and what they did on special teams and just those non-offensive touchdowns and the ability to just really shut down an offense. They had 21 points the first quarter. Georgia did. They got out to a really strong lead. I think right there and kind of knocked the wind out of Arkansas, all they built up coming into that particular game. And, pretty amazing job that cause I really thought Arkansas would play a lot better game than that, at least score some points. Don't know if Jefferson was really quite 100%, but he at times had some great plays called back. They had a lot of penalties. They had illegal procedures. They had things that really were things that they've been so disciplined not to do in the beginning of the year that they're allowing themselves to get caught up in and just the situation itself. Not so sure if the moment and the week did not get to them, Lars, because, they're just not used to being there, not used to being an undefeated team heading into this type of matchup, game day, and that type of attention.
What did you think about Kentucky beating Florida 20-13? Was this the Alabama hangover effect that we've seen repeatedly in the Nick Saban era, where a team that, Florida played great against Alabama, came close to pulling off the upset, but also it's such a physical game. I mean, is it, Jay, you think a physical hangover? Is it a intellectual, emotional hangover? What was it? Because Georgia clearly was just not quite the same against Kentucky on Saturday.
Yeah, Florida. So 20-13 was the score. So just, a 7-point game. But you're right. I mean, Florida could never seem to get into rhythm. Kentucky's just playing well. They're playing hard-nosed football.
5-0.
Yeah, I mean they're in another situation there where you got to go and you've got to play at your best football. And right now Kentucky at 5-0 and 3-0 in SEC play. Mark Stoops has his team believing, really buying into what they want to accomplish and what they want to do. So I think for them, I'm really not surprised by it. I know a lot of people predicted Kentucky was going to win that game against Florida this past weekend, even though Florida was the number 10 team in the team in the country. So look around the SEC, some other scores real quick. Again, 42-21, Alabama or Ole Miss. Georgia 37-0, 2013. We just talked about as far as the Kentucky-Florida game. Texas A&M went down to Mississippi State. Hard to believe.
2 straight losses.
Yep, 3-2, 0-2 in SEC play. Auburn again, 24-19. Tennessee, man, they killed Missouri, 62-24.
Did not see that coming.
I didn't either. Heupel looked like he had more control, more like he was offensively play calling, and the offense turned up the numbers for them. They ended up scoring, was it 26 points in the first game or first quarter? Is that right? Or 28 points, 17 in the second. So by halftime, they were already up with a big lead. 17 more points in the second half. South Carolina over Troy, 23-14, and Vanderbilt gets the win over UConn, 30-28. But they're now 2-3, 1-3 at home, and UConn is 0-6. So I look around
the
the
worst
SEC.
team in the country.
Yeah,
Let's just admit
there's
it here.
no doubt about it. Local Realty, we had them out at the Top Golf remote the other day, and really great to see Jeremy and Gina Miller. And I don't know if Jeremy knows this or not yet, but Antonio was watching his golf swing and decided to do the same hand grip that Jeremy does. And so we stayed out and we were hanging out and stuff after the golf tournament, about an hour. And every shot he hit, normally where's the shots go, Lars? They usually go to the right. They usually hits a slice or he was drawing the ball back into the middle. I was like, he looked back at me and he would not quit hitting because he's like, I figured it out. I'm like, you're never going to leave here.
He was crushing the ball.
Yeah.
He was crushing the ball.
But this was even different. Like, he was hitting it so solid, and you could hear it coming off the club. He's like, I'm like, you won't even leave tonight. You'll stay here all night.
I wanted to stay there too. I actually reached the net, Jay.
You did.
I couldn't believe it.
That was awesome on 10 bounces.
Hey, still reached the net. It counts.
Local Realty, Jeremy, Gina
Just
Miller.
because you hit it like on the fly, halfway up.
Well, they'll teach you how to not only golf swing, but also how to sell your home and make money off of that with what's called a flat listing fee. So go to localrealtyflatfee.com, localrealtyflatfee.com, and they've saved sellers over $1 million now on listing fees, and they can do it for you as well. What they do is a $2,900 flat fee up to a $500,000 listing, 5-star on Zillow, and just a great family, great team. You'll love them. Check them out, localrealtyflatfee.com, localrealtyflatfee.com to find out more about Local Realty. All right, we'll be back. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable. They're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Hey, Bama fans, before you head to the stadium to watch the Tide roll, stop by JD's Market and Spirits for all your tailgating needs for Bama football games. Located only 3 blocks from the stadium, JD's offers over 500 liquor items, 400 wine items, and a huge selection of craft, domestic, and imported beers. JD's also has hot dogs, snacks, ice, and game day supplies. Everything you need for tailgating. JD's Market and Spirits, 400 yards from Bryant-Denny Stadium on the west side. Call 722-2113.
If you're a homeowner or business owner and need glass installation, sales, or repair, call 345-3511 and talk to the glass pros at Alabama Central Glass. They specialize in beveled mirrors, window glass, furniture tops, insulated glass replacement, storefronts, shower doors, tub enclosures, and acrylic. Alabama Central Glass also has vinyl windows, and they offer residential window repair. Call 345-3511 or visit the Alabama Central Glass showroom at 3878 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
good night,
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell and engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhower here. Baumhower's Victory Grill is your big game headquarters all fall long. And with our new fall features, every day is game day at Baumhower's Victory Grill. Try our pregame starters, including our homemade onion strings, always fresh hot lips, and our all-new Buffalo Dippin' Chicken appetizer. Our main events include incredible chicken, fish, and shrimp selections, always featuring local Alabama Gulf seafood. And don't forget our Sunday Blitz, 11 to 6. Baumhower's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
But we have a truck leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on a silent retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
I'll oversee production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
So, what are you sipping? Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah! Start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Mostly cloudy with occasional showers and thunderstorms likely through tonight. The high today 76, tonight's low 72. Tomorrow and Wednesday, wet weather continues. Mostly cloudy with showers and storms likely both days. Highs between 77 and 80. I'm James Spain on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 78 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we continue and wrap up hour number one, and a lot to get into today. Gosh, I mean, think about all the different games, and I sometimes think 2 hours on these Mondays, especially after the press conferences, so much to talk about. But looking around just the country, what other games did you kind of intrigue you this past weekend besides some of the big SEC matchups?
Oregon losing to Stanford.
Yeah.
Oregon had the game won. And Stanford was able to come back and win it in overtime. But, Jay, can you just briefly discuss your experience at Protective Stadium?
Yeah, it was awesome. Got there about probably, I guess, 30 or 45 minutes before the game. And actually, I'm glad I left. I left at halftime at Alabama's game, and which, you know, at that point,
the game was over.
The game was in hand, but also I wanted to make it back to see all the festivities and just everything that they were going to do leading up to it. But and then had a chance to not only see all these fans coming in, and it was, I mean, I was very surprised at how many were there, because there was, at that time I was coming back to Tuscaloosa, that was raining, the threat of rain, and you had Slice Fest going on, Talladega, you had something else big going on in Birmingham. And I really thought that was going to affect the crowd in a big way. Now, a lot of people don't understand is at the game, when they showed some of the aerial views, which I wish they would have. Buddy and I were talking about this. If you're going to show aerial views of the stadium, show the city too. I mean, show the lights underneath the overpasses. Show some of the new things that have gone on as far as like Topgolf. Kind of give that aerial view to where the people go, wow, this is Birmingham. This is great. But the stadium itself was just unbelievable.
How was the food?
The food was great. The boxes, I mean, the press box is phenomenal. I'll show you a picture of that. And the suites. And it's really done differently than a lot of college, but the way they've got it, everything's like, especially on the press box, is really closed off with audio visual, with the play-by-play guys, all that kind of. And normally you have, everything's kind of like in a hallway where everybody kind of, you do get to see people, but it's really more, I think they did a really good job of that, keeping things quiet up there where people can do their work and have all the tools that are necessary. Now, down below that, when you go down to 5 and 4, and then down to the club level, man, it was fun. I mean, there was people from all the different big corporations throughout Alabama, big companies that have done well, big supporters of UAB. And then on a club level, People are coming in. I mean, most people were standing up in the club level and on the other side as well, trying to stay dry. And so even though the crowd looked great, I think it looked even bigger if they would have had not had the rain and worried about that issue.
I have a buddy who's a craft beer snob, and he told me that their selection of craft beers at Protective is better than any other stadium in college football.
My understanding, 356 different kinds. Isn't that crazy? Wow. But Birmingham's kind of known for craft beer and stuff, so pretty cool. They've done a great job with it. Congratulations to Coach Clark, even though a tough loss, and Mark Ingram on getting that thing open in their first game against Liberty. All right, we'll return. Hour number 2 is coming up. Stay with us.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
I know you know about Guthrie's Chicken Fingers, but do you know about the Guthrie family? 1992, they started selling chicken fingers. They were the first chicken finger restaurant and the first drive-through chicken finger restaurant ever. They've been around for over 50 years. Since the beginning, Guthrie's have been using only the finest ingredients in their Guthrie's boxes. While others have tried to copy, nothing tastes like Guthrie's chicken fingers dipped in that Guthrie's famous sauce. Guthrie's restaurants are expanding to give the entire U.S. a taste of their golden fried chicken fingers. Franchise opportunities are available. Go to Guthrie'sChicken.com. That's Guthrie'sChicken.com for more information.
I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors, big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarding part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan. Letter C, letter O.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff. Its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa.
Up 15, dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. Oh, love that. You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. Eludes the kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, great. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
4th and a yard. Running back. Ely finds an opening. Gets stacked up. I don't think he got there. I don't believe he made it. I don't believe he made it. Alabama's Jordan Battle came through. Here now, Corral stands in. He is flushed in the pocket. Corral's running for his life. He'll throw on the near side. And it is incomplete. Jordan Battle along the near sideline. Ely in motion. Here's the toss outside. Bama's toe. Got him. Going down. Henry. Toe. Got him. What a great play. And Alabama holds again on downs. That was spectacular. Quarterback under pressure. Hit as he throws. Intercepted Malachi Moore, then drops the ball, which should likely be an incomplete forward pass. But no, the referee says that it's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be Alabama ball. Corral drops back, looks left all the way, look down, you're getting sacked. Will Anderson with his first sack of the ball game for the Crimson Tide.
All right, welcome back in as we continue live from AVX on this Monday edition. Alabama, big win, 42-21 over Ole Miss. Bryce Young, another excellent day. B-Rob had an unbelievable game as far as rushing the 4 touchdowns, as well as he got better and better as the game went on. So a lot to continue to talk about that and some of the other SEC scores. Ohio State also, big win for them, 52-13 over Rutgers. And also Cincinnati, one of the biggest wins of the day on Saturday, 24-13 over Notre Dame. And Cincinnati was at 7, Notre Dame at 9. So a big top 10 win for a team in the group of 5 is trying to get a group of 5 inside the playoffs for the first time. So we'll talk about kind of their argument and all that comes along with that. We are presented by Top Golf of Birmingham, Mark Grenier, and all the great folks at Top Golf. Go check them out. You'll love them, and whether it's with your coworkers, friends, and family. Great food and drinks, just a great atmosphere, and a lot of people enjoyed it for tailgating before and after the UAB games this past weekend. We'll continue to do that, but go check them out. They do a lot of charitable events. They do a lot of functions for businesses as well. Great place to go have fun. We call it the bowling of this generation. That's Top Golf of Birmingham. Also driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Tony Russell and all the great folks at Sonny King Ford.
So, Jay, here we are almost at the quarter point of the season. And where do you think Alabama is right now? Is this kind of where you thought just the team as a whole, offense, defense, special teams, would be as we just get into the early days of October?
I felt like early on that because I feel like this might be the best defense Nick Saban has had for a long time, if not one of the best he's ever had. The first few games, I was kind of surprised at the front seven, kind of how they played. Thought the back end was playing a little bit better at that time. This game, though, was what, again, this defense was built for speed, built to cover in space, to go up against the teams that you're going to face. They're going to give you challenges when it comes to scoring points. So very, very impressed this past weekend. What I saw defensively, I feel like they're hitting their stride in a sense right now, getting better. I think they're understanding each other better. Henry To'oTo'o, I think, understanding the defense, the players around him. At times he's just his eyes will tell him something, and he reacts so fast. And he's so quick that it's gotten him in trouble. He overruns a play, overruns a hole, overruns a
Does
gap.
he remind you of Reuben Foster at all? Or is Reuben more of a thumper?
Yeah, he was more of a thumper, I think. And not to say that Henry's not, but he's more of a run guy. I mean, a runner that can not only get to the runner and make plays in the backfield and get there fast, but he's just got to play disciplined with his eyes. I thought he really did a great job of that this past weekend. More importantly, he's there to cover those backs out of the backfield. He's there to cover the tight ends, there to spy on the quarterback that's maybe a dual threat type guy that he can come back up in zone and make the tackles. He is a guy that's very athletic, one of the fastest guys on the team. That's the crazy part about it, playing that middle linebacker position. So now I think he's more, I don't want to say not a finesse guy, but he's just more of a speed guy and athletically, where Reuben Foster was just a headhunter.
Yeah. And Bryce Young, to me, this was his best game of the season to date, and just his ability to manipulate the pocket, right, to sense pressure, and the fact that it doesn't take off running. I mean, we had discussed this. Like, is Nick Saban and Bill O'Brien telling him not to run? And I think this is just his game. Like, he would rather keep his eyes down the field, and that's one of the most impressive things to me about him. Mm-hmm. He is always looking down the field. And just his arm strength, I don't know where it comes from, because he's not the biggest guy in the world, but man, the quickness of the release and the ability to make every single throw, and also just his command of the offense, his presence out on the field of just always exuding confidence and never being rattled. I thought this was his best game.
He's been playing very, very well like that. I mean, very well throughout the year. He's played with that confidence, with that poise you're talking about. I mean, 20 of 26, 241. I mean, that's tough against anybody to make those kind of numbers. Two touchdowns. He had the one interception. But, Matt Corral ends up 21-29, only missed 8 passes, 213 yards. Came in averaging about 350, I think, or a little bit more than that per game. He only had the one touchdown. Alabama did a really good job of keeping everything in front of them. You look at the numbers that they were averaging, their team, Ole Miss, run and pass. Alabama kept their numbers way down. I mean, talking 213 and 78 yards, the team rushing the ball. Alabama's up with 210 yards rushing, with Brian Robinson Jr. leading that with the 171, 4 touchdowns on the 36 carries, but and 241 passing was brought up earlier with Bryce Young. So Alabama really came in with a great game plan. Again, what's the effect if Lane is not quiet as a gambler there at the beginning of the game, 14, points down, 14-0 Alabama. If they are able to punt the ball away, Alabama, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Would you have kicked the field goal there?
Which one?
First possession.
Maybe not on the road. Maybe not. I mean, because you got it. He knows he's got to get points.
Yeah, he knows that his defense isn't the strongest, so he realizes he needs, the only way to win this game is to make it into a track meet.
The reason why a lot of times coaches decide to go for the score is they know that if they don't get the score, the other team's got to come off the goal line. And off the goal line plays, you're so limited. I mean, really, probably the best off the goal line play is just fade routes. I mean, or go routes more than anything else. Coming off the goal line and worried about snaps, worried about a guy getting caught for safety, those type of things. So I think Lane felt like, okay, if we don't make it, at least they've got to drive, 94 yards, whatever that is, 96 yards. Forget the number it was, and they did it. Alabama took it right down the field and scored. And again, like I said earlier, that was like a 14-point swing for both teams. Just the psychology of that and what that does to your team at that point in time. I don't think that was a mistake as much as when he went forward on fourth down on about the 30-yard line. I mean, that was, to me, I was sitting in the press box going, there's no way he's going to do this. I mean, he's going to call timeout. He's going to punt the ball. You can't do this to your team, because right now Alabama had all the momentum. They just had so much. The fans were into it. They were making it tough on Matt Corral. And good job by the fans this weekend, by the way. It was a great atmosphere, fun atmosphere.
in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So they played a huge part in that win as well.
And just looking ahead to Texas A&M on Saturday, A&M now lost 2 in a row. Mississippi State beat them 26-22. And for the Aggies, I think the biggest issue is the quarterback position. They lost their starter early in the year, the freshman, and Zach Calzada, I think that's how you pronounce it. 12 of 20, 1 interception, just threw for 135 against the Mississippi State defense that really isn't known for very much. And so I don't know if the Aggies are going to be able to put up much of a fight against Alabama on Saturday, Jay.
Well, this is the game they've been looking for, right? I mean, they've been looking forward to this game for a long, long time, wanting to as Jimbo said, we're going to beat Alabama in a sense. And Nick Saban in the summer is like a golf, or what's he talking about? And Nick always eventually says, inevitably it's going to happen. I mean, he's now at 24, but at some point in time, time should tell you that the averages is that might happen. So a lot of people felt like that was going to be Jimbo. That Jimbo would be the one that now has a lot of guys returning, even though I brought this up on the pregame show. I watched them in spring. I watched them in summer practice, some of the fall. And I know everybody was kind of buying into this team saying, they're this, they're that. But to me, A&M was a light like Clemson. I just looked at them and went, they don't look as athletic. They don't look as big. They don't look as what I'm seeing in Alabama, what I'm seeing at other schools. Clemson the same way this year. When I first saw them for the first game, when they struggled against Georgia, even though they played it tight, really a defensive touchdown was the difference, and that interception for a touchdown, the pick six. There's something about both those teams to me that doesn't seem to add up. Just looking at them athletically, physically, the players that they've got and the depth that they should have at both of those schools. But back to A&M. A&M now with 2 losses. Alabama can't come off the high of beating Ole Miss and all the build-up with Lane Kiffin. Coach Saban tries to do the same things every week to not allow the build-up to be the build-up of a high or build-up of a low. Consistency, get better. They can't let down because, look, A&M and the fans, they want this. They want this win as much as Ole Miss wanted it. In our house, they want to have a big win at Kyle Field. This would be huge for Jimbo Fisher to get this victory.
How big of a issue is it that Alabama has, and Bryce Young in particular, played at the Swamp? So they're used to being in front of a really, really loud crowd, and now going to Kyle Field on Saturday.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, and also that you were, having to fight for your life there at the end. I said that will stick with them for the rest of the year. That will help them kind of move through tough situation. They'll have the confidence. They can look back on that particular situation. Kyle Field, though, is a different animal. I mean, it really is.
I've never been.
The 12th man to, and I'll be honest, I never have either. I just heard many people talk about how loud it is, the 12th man, and just, all the things that go along with the traditions and things that they've done over the years. So it'd be a fun place to go watch a game. And, Nick's going to have this Alabama team ready, prepared to face up against an A&M team now.
Are you going to make it? Are you going to make it to College Station?
I would like to. I'm trying to work my way there, but we'll see whether or not that's going to happen coming up this week.
Jay's friends who have airplanes.
There you go. Exactly. You know how that. I mean, because just got to get there and get back fast.
Yep.
For a lot of other stuff. All right, we'll be back and stay with us. We got Mick Gillispie going to be joining us, our teammate here on BamaInsider.com, as well as we've done a lot of radio together over the years. Love to always get his insight and take after the games on Monday. So Mick will be joining us coming up next. We'll be back.
Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
A national championship team covering a national championship team. The best sports talk in the state. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
If you're a homeowner or business owner and need glass installation, sales, or repair, call 345-3511 and talk to the glass pros at Alabama Central Glass. They specialize in beveled mirrors, window glass, furniture tops, insulated glass replacement, storefronts, shower doors, tub enclosures, and acrylic. Alabama Central Glass also has vinyl windows, and they offer residential window repair. Call 345-3511 or visit the Alabama Central Glass showroom at 3878 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. You got to see this dog. It's a little puffball. It looks like a piece of cotton candy that I could just eat up. Oh, and it waddles when it walks. He's a little ducky dog. Oh, I wish you could see it. We really should have planned this better.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Do you have an old car sitting around your house? Maybe you're even paying insurance on it. Well, if you don't need that car anymore, donate it, running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. They will even come and pick it up for free and give you a receipt for a tax donation. Breast cancer screening could save the life of someone you love. And right now, they need your help. They want to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And that's what your old car helps to pay for. So get your phone out and call right now to donate your car to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. Remember, they will come pick it up for free and give you a tax donation receipt. Call right now at 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832. That's 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832.
Everything is better at Benton Nissan. At Benton Nissan of Bessemer and Benton Nissan of Hoover, you get an even bigger selection. We have more than 400 used cars on the ground. Don't pay above sticker for new cars when we have like-new used cars waiting for you. Drive a little, save a lot at Benton Nissan of Bessemer, 5487 Academy Way, and Benton Nissan of Hoover, 1640 Montgomery Highway. Benton Nissan, your friend in the car business. For qualified customers, see dealer for details. Everything is better at Benton Nissan.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm.
Snap-to-tail checkup is waiting.
But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Mostly cloudy with occasional showers and thunderstorms likely through tonight. The high today 76, tonight's low 72. Tomorrow and Wednesday, wet weather continues. Mostly cloudy with showers and storms likely both days. Highs between 77 and 80. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 81 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we continue hour number 2 here on this Monday edition. Big win, 42-21 for the Crimson Tide last night. Also, Tom Brady takes down his former team, the Patriots. But Mac Jones had an unbelievable performance last night for a rookie quarterback, I thought, and from a lot of the commentators and their perspectives as well, that he had a really, really nice game and really fun to watch that game last night as well. But a lot to get into. Let's get to Mick Gillispie, part of BamaInsider.com, one of our teammates, and also a guy that I've done many shows with before and pregame shows and others. Always a pleasure to have him in. Mick, how are you on this Monday?
What's up, guys? It's fun to look at you and talk to you at the same time, man. So doing well. What a game on Saturday. And the best part about the SEC is we get to turn around and do it again this week.
Mick, just your overall impression of Alabama and their performance against Ole Miss on Saturday.
Hey, what's up, Lars? I was thinking about you because I found that Sports Illustrated when I was moving some stuff around at my new house from the tornado, man. I was laughing, and then in the same box there was a program from the '92 national championship game. So I had both of you guys covered yesterday.
Oh wow!
Look, how cool is that? my thoughts on the game were exactly what I expected. Alabama to win, Alabama to cover the 14.5 or whatever the spread was. I said I would have taken it at 17.5. Alabama was clearly the better team. They dominated at the line of scrimmage. I said last week that, that Alabama, we knew what Alabama's defense was. We knew what Alabama's offense was. We knew what Ole Miss's offense was, but we didn't know what Ole Miss's defense was, and now we do. It's a little bit better than last year, but it's not much better than last year. So Alabama exposed them there. I still think that Ole Miss is a good team, but I'll tell you what, it was fun watching Brian Robinson have his Daniel Moore game. He just did everything.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to make a print for him. The 6-year guy, and
That's a really good line, by the way. That's a really good line.
Yeah, you guys can use that. Go ahead. It's not copyrighted.
All right, I am going to use that.
I love it. Yeah, and I guess Pete Golding right now. I mean, he had a lot of heat on him over the last few weeks. How do you think the fans feel about the performance this past weekend? And that really a lot of what they were doing was scheming up, getting ready, and playing the style that they would need to play against a team like Ole Miss and this type of personnel.
Yeah, it's time to kind of take the heat off of Pete Golding. The year that we go back to where he got criticized, he didn't have any linebackers. They all got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And was that his fault? I don't think so. The game plan that they had for Ole Miss was great. It couldn't have been better. It was watching Lane Kiffin do the mic drop, the Randy Watkins coming to America mic drop, and the popcorn comment and all that stuff. And then it was Pete Golding that stole the show, not Nick Saban, not Lane Kiffin. It was the Pete Golding and Brian Robinson show. The defense couldn't have done a better job of game planning. I didn't think the last touchdown that Ole Miss scored was even legit. I didn't agree with the penalty that set them up to get the 21, but it doesn't matter really. What matters is it was 28-0 before you could really get your popcorn and sit down. It was like watching one of those old Mike Tyson fights, against Spinks. Alabama clearly had the game plan, and they forced Lane Kiffin to make some bad decisions, including going for it a lot on 4th down, which every time he did it, I was like, thank goodness, because it's going to blow up in his face. And so at the end of the day, I look at Pete Golding and understand that Nick Saban's the guy with the game plan, and he could have let Pete Golding go to Texas. He decided that he wanted him to stick around here, and there's a good reason why. It's because he's a great defensive coach. He's still learning. He's still getting better. But I'm always going to trust Nick Saban and his decision-making.
Mick, we're now 5 games into Bryce Young's career as the starting quarterback at Alabama. 1, how do you think he played on Saturday? And 2, how do you think he stacks up at this point in his career? And he's just getting started. But how do you think he stacks up against Jalen and Tua and Mac?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a lot like Jay. I mean, he was a smart quarterback. He's a young guy playing early in his career, and he doesn't look like a young guy. Jay, you know about that. I mean, goes out there, follows the game plan. This guy's a Heisman Trophy contender. I think for him to win the Heisman, he's going to have a couple of really big games, maybe this week or next week. But he's just been so smart and so consistent. He moves around in the pocket. The offensive line's been, kind of up and down, although I thought they had a really good performance this week. But he makes them better because of his ability to move around in the pocket. The other thing that drives some people crazy, and I'm kind of getting it now, is that he's not going to run. He's going to throw the ball, right? But he's going to look like he's going to run. And maybe at some time, in the future, maybe he should just take off with the football because eventually they're going to back off. But I don't want this guy taking too many hits. I'm not as confident in Paul Tyson, if that's the backup, or Jalen Milroe as I am right now with what he does. He's a special talent. I mean, to step up and play in these type of games, in this type of atmosphere, and look like someone who's been the quarterback for the last 10 years, and we know that's not the case, really has been phenomenal. And then on top of that, and I think we can all agree, he's a really smart guy. When he gets up and talks, you're like, okay, man, like I'm cheating off of him in, math class. I'm going to be in there like making sure he's in my group in science. He's a smart guy. He's not just there to play football. He's there to get an education, and that's something that I think just as an alumni, I think that's pretty cool. I really like it. I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, Braxton always talks about what a great guy Bryce is and has been. I mean, since he got there, he said the same thing about Henry Toto as well. And just both of those guys being great leaders, which they got to be. The linebacker and the quarterback, they're quarterbacking both sides of the football. Brian Robinson and Lars and I were talking earlier about now down to 3 running backs. We heard Coach Saban say that in the press conference. You and I have heard from Martin Houston, from others who watched Brian in high school, who've watched his career. And I remember T.J. Jones, who was the strength conditioning coach at Alabama, has been there for years. And he said, man, give that guy the rock is in high school. The more you give it to him, the stronger he gets. So maybe this plays better, and not just for Brian, but for the offense, that they'll be forced to play him more, give him more touches than maybe they would if they had 5 guys. They felt like they had to rotate. I mean, this past weekend, 36 carries, 171, 4 touchdowns for B-Rob.
Well, it worked for Derrick Henry, didn't it? It worked when Derrick Henry was the running back and guys were hurt. And then all of a sudden we found out that when you give Derrick Henry the ball continuously throughout the game, things are different. I remember hanging with Ben George, our buddy that used to be at Tide, your flagship station, was on our pregame show, Jay. We were at the Iron Bowl down in Auburn, and Ben was fretting. I mean, he looked like he was going to puke when Alabama was behind at halftime. And it's like, look, man, it's a 2-half game. And when you have a battering ram like Derrick Henry, you just got to sit back and wait. And then all of a sudden in that third quarter, no one really wanted to tackle Derrick Henry. Then in the fourth quarter, no one really wanted to tackle Derrick Henry. And eventually he had one of the greatest Iron Bowls in the history of Alabama football, right? And Alabama won the game. And a win down at Auburn, which has been tough for Alabama. So maybe Brian Robinson's that guy. He's not a breakaway speed guy. He's not a big play, guy, I'd say, but he's just a consistent guy. He gets in there and just bangs around and wears you out, and he doesn't fumble. He locks the ball into those vice grips and holds on to it. I said on Saturday night, and I agree with this, I'll say it again right now, is that Nick Saban dished Lane Kiffin some of the elixir. He went up into the cabinet and got the elixir out. And the elixir was a lot of Brian Robinson toting the rock and just battering his defensive line, that weird 3-front defensive line that Ole Miss runs, right, to try to counter the spread. Well, it was old school football on Saturday, and I got to give Alabama credit again for coming up with just a great game plan against the team last year that gave them fits.
Nick Saban now 24-0 against his former assistants. Why do you think he's had so much success?
Well, I mean, do you think that that Daniel LaRussa could have beaten up Miyagi? I mean, that's a question that we all have to ask ourselves. Johnny Lawrence is still trying to beat his sensei, and it never goes well if you watch Cobra Kai. So look, I don't know. I don't really know why Nick Saban dominates those guys. This week, it's Jimbo Fisher's turn. And this is such a big game for Texas A&M and Jimbo just because their season's gone so poorly. They're dangerous. They have a good defensive line. It's going to be loud. It's a night game down there. I know Nick Saban has respect for Jimbo. Jimbo, it isn't the same situation as Lane. But I wonder if Nick will send a message, because messages get sent from Nick Saban when you challenge him. And we know what Jimbo said in the offseason about beating Alabama and what they were going to do. I don't think he factored in losing to Arkansas and Ole Miss. But for whatever reason, Nick Saban has spawned some of the greatest coaches in college football. When you look at just around the league, I still, even though I'll crack on Lane Kiffin and make fun of some of his behavior, I still think he's a great offensive coach, and he's a perfect coach for Ole Miss. Kirby Smart might have the best team in the country. Alabama's got something to say about that, but we'll find out. It feels like there's 2 elite teams. Texas A&M's had some injury issues. Obviously, losing their quarterback has hurt them, but they're still a team that ended up 5th last year and only lost one game to Alabama. You know, when you look around the league and you see some of the great coaches, a lot of them have worked for Nick Saban, and it's really hard to kind of duplicate that. But watching Mac Jones play last night, Sunday Night Football, the only guy that I can compare Nick Saban to is Bill Belichick, right? And, you know, and that's who Nick Saban learned from, right? Isn't that the guy that he learned from? So maybe those guys will figure it out. I would love to see a Nick Saban, Bill Belichick game at some point, although I don't think the Patriots and Alabama will ever match up.
No, I don't think so. So just around the country real quick, some surprising games. Stanford beats Oregon 31-24. We talked a little bit about that earlier. I'm not buying Oklahoma. That I don't think they're the number 6 team in the country right now, or wherever they are now in the rankings, but 37-31, they beat Kansas State. But the one that I wanted to ask you about, Cincinnati takes down Notre Dame, number 7 team in the country, number 9, is a top 10 matchup. If Cincinnati runs the table, Mick, do you think that their resume is enough to get them in the college playoffs and be that first group of 5 team to do so?
Look, I'll say this. First off, they need Notre Dame to go back to playing good football. But I have a lot of respect for Cincinnati and, you know, running the gauntlet in Indiana. You know, they beat Indiana and then they beat Notre Dame, both teams, on the road. Cincinnati was in the mix last year. They weren't taken seriously because they didn't really have that marquee top 10 matchup. And they had it this year. Their conference schedule is not even close to what the SEC is bringing to the table in some of the other major conferences. With that said, I think Cincinnati's done everything that they can possibly do to give themselves a chance to play for the championship. And right now I'd have them in. I'd give them my vote. I want to see what Cincinnati does against Alabama and that 1 versus 4 matchup. You can only handle the things that are in front of you. You can only play the games that are on the schedule. They played Georgia last year really tough. They had to lead most of the game in that bowl, and they eventually lost. But I think that you're putting 2 seasons in a row where Cincinnati has been excellent. And this year they went and they beat Indiana, and then they go and beat Notre Dame. And Notre Dame destroyed Wisconsin the week before. I know you look at it, and there were a lot of mistakes by the Badgers at the end of the game, and maybe they're not so great. But Notre Dame's a really good team, and that's a huge win. I'd have Cincinnati in. And then you mentioned Oklahoma. Until Oklahoma's beaten, they're not. You know, we sit here, we go, yeah. They haven't been impressive. I mean, not at all, right? And this week, the line with them in Texas, it went from like 14.5, and it's dwindled down, I think, somewhere in the 3 area, right? And it's interesting because Texas is kind of starting to find something, and Oklahoma, you know, what are they doing? I got a theory on Oklahoma and Ohio State. I've probably shared this before, but Bob Stoops and Urban Meyer aren't there anymore, right? And so now you're past the point where they recruited guys and they coach guys and all that. Now it's the coaches that are there. These are their programs. And I think the further that you get away from it, the tougher it's going to be. And Jay, I go back to, this isn't just something that I pulled out of midair. I look at Alabama when I was in school, you know, like Gene Stallings left in 96. They won the SEC in 99, but they were all guys that Gene Stallings brought in, the seniors, right? Once those guys left, the program went straight down. They had that 1 year and then straight down. And really, we never got back up until Saban got there. I mean, maybe there was the year that Shula had, and then of course those games were vacated apparently. So whatever. I just think that you get away from those excellent coaches, and eventually the culture changes. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State and Oklahoma don't continue to slide back. But until Oklahoma's beaten, they're still a team that I would have in the college football playoff.
All right, about 15 seconds to everybody how they can find you tonight for the Monday quarterback.
Monday Night Quarterback, 6 o'clock on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. You guys that are watching right now, you know how to get there. But if you're not watching, you're listening on the radio, go to Bama Insider on YouTube, and all you got to do is pull it up. We'll be live. You can comment, and on the little comment area, and we love to talk to you and hang out. We've got press conferences, we've got shows all week long, and we'll get you into Alabama and Texas A&M, including my show Friday, 6:00 from the floor Bama and Perdido Key. Jay, Lars, you guys are invited.
That's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
No drinking until after the show.
No doubt. Mick Gillispie joining us again, BamaInsider.com, and tonight, Monday night quarterback. Be a great show to watch and hear some of the comments and thoughts and questions. But Mick, as always, thank you, my man. Have a great week.
Hey, great talking to you guys. Roll Tide.
All right. Mick Gillispie joining us. Small, medium-sized business owners out there, are you aware that there are additional government stimulus dollars available to your business outside of the PPP loan? If you had employees retain them during the COVID-19 pandemic, there's up to $33,000 cash refund per employee available to you, no matter if you had a financial loss or gain. For over 23 years, the tax attorneys and CPAs at eTax Breaks have been identifying tax credits, cash refunds available to your businesses through more than 3,000 federal and state programs. Now, these are not loans. You don't have to pay them back. eTax Breaks, the team there, has recovered over $2 billion for their clients to date and can serve you nationwide as well. The best part is there's no fee to find out if you qualify. They work off success fees, so you only pay for what they find. That's behind the credits or some of the other things that they'll end up finding as far as the credits, refunds for your business that you wouldn't find. So about 90% of small businesses out there are eligible. So take a few minutes, find out and reach out to these guys to see if your business qualifies. Go to etaxbreaks.com. That's etaxbreaks.com, or simply call them at 855-659-1231. That's 855-659-1231 for etaxbreaks.com. All right, we'll continue hour number 2. More to come. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. Technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds. built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in J Barker for a special discount code. That's J Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the J Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.C.O.
Do you struggle with finding new ideas for your branding, marketing, your business? Is your organization trying to find those unique items that people really like to receive and use in today's competitive business environment? Your brand needs to stand out to get noticed. Fully Promoted offers extensive branding and marketing solutions to get your name in front of your potential customers. They have local experts that specialize in putting your logo on apparel, gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, printed materials, pretty much anything you need. They provide access to samples. You can actually feel in touch. Your personalized service assists you with product selection and decoration methods, taking your brand to the next level. Call Fully Promoted today at 205-406-6430. Mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for a special offer. That's 205-406-6430, 406-6430. Are you fully promoted?
It was a Super Bowl-like atmosphere last night at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And, you know, it was raining throughout the game. And Jay, Mac Jones outplayed Tom Brady. He outplayed the GOAT. 31 of 40, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but that came on a tip pass at one point in the game. As mentioned earlier, he completed 19 consecutive passes between the third and fourth quarters, and that was the longest such streak by a rookie quarterback in 30 years. And then at the end of the game, Mac Jones leads the Patriots down the field in the rain late in the fourth quarter. Last play of the game, essentially Nick Folk, 56-yard field goal attempt, which in the NFL, that's a makeable kick. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just saw Jason Tucker from the Ravens hit a 66-yarder to beat Detroit last week. So Folk, his attempt hit the left upright, and that resulted in the Bucs winning 19-17. But you know,
I never heard a dunk like that.
I know.
That was, I mean, it must have been right about where the camera, I mean, the actual mic was.
But Jay, you've said this, like you said this all last year, that the one person that Mac Jones reminds you of was Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of rolled my eyes a little bit, like, come on, you really comparing Mac Jones to Tom Brady? But last night, Mac Jones looked just like Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. And he does not have the weapons that Brady has right now. And I know Tampa has some injuries, but
without Gronk last night, that was huge.
It was. Yeah. Cameron Bratt is a really good tight end, though. He's out of Harvard, and they still have OJ Howard. I don't know if he's 100% yet back from the Achilles tear from last year, but I couldn't have been more impressed with Mac Jones.
Yeah, just the poise. Everybody built it up and talked about, Tom's coming back, which was true, that he's come to a place he spent 20 years. It's got to be tough. Anytime you go back somewhere you haven't been in a while, and now you kind of moved on to a different team or whatever, or a different business or, whatever in life, when you go back, and then the ovation that he got when he came out and everybody started chanting Brady to the video presentation they did, kind of highlighting his career there, to when he first ran out to start the series, which I love that.
They're smart fans.
Yes, but I loved it because I'm like, that's the way it should be. They love him as a player. They love him as a person. They love what he did for him. But hey, you're playing my team today, and now you're not on my team. But there were still a lot of people that struggle with that. They had one guy had the GOAT costume on, others, Brady for life type stuff. So when you see all that and hear all that, as Mac Jones, the quarterback who just got drafted in the first round, that's where he did a really good job accepting it, taking on the challenge, understanding that, hey, this isn't them against me. It's their love of him. And I want to have that same type of relationship with the fans. And I want to perform at the same level. And I want to do all these things that he did and accomplished. I mean, a lot of what Mac Jones does, even on the sidelines, when he's sitting there, you watch him. It's a lot of what he's watched Tom do over the years. I think he emulates himself a lot.
He just looks so young.
He does, yeah. I tell you, like, Zach Wilson's the one that looks very young.
Yes, he does.
Very for the Jets. But
so after
they
the
finally
game,
got the win.
After the game, oh yes, the Jets did. That was surprising.
Let's play this audio real quick. We got some of Mac, and I think Josh was telling me in my ear, but I'm not sure if this is audio of plays or him actually some of his comments after the game. But let's play it. Okay, I have to get it back.
Yeah, so after the game, apparently Tom and Mac, they had the hug. It's always interesting that the opposing quarterbacks come together. I guess that's just a tradition in the NFL. Is that right?
That one else said again.
That opposing quarterbacks after the game, they always come and they seek each other out. Yeah. I guess it's just respect and being in a
college
that fraternity.
Yeah.
But after the game, Brady told Mac, "Hey, keep your head up and keep working." I mean, that's great advice.
Yeah.
Because Mac played so well. Why do you think it was nerves with Tom Brady? Is that the first time? Like, was it nerves or is it because look, after doing this book on Brady, like nobody studies weather and the wind and how it affects throwing a ball. And I mean, Tom has like this laboratory in his garage where he will put balls in snow. I mean, not in Tampa, but yeah. But anyway, he knows how balls feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Wow, that just came out totally wrong. I give up.
We'll mark that one. All right, Josh. Josh, let's go to break. We'll come back with that audio. Come back on the other side. It's Jay Barker Show live from AVX as we continue hour number 2.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable. They're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com. If you're a homeowner or business owner and need glass installation, sales, or repair, call 345-3511 and talk to the glass pros at Alabama Central Glass. They specialize in beveled mirrors, window glass, furniture tops, insulated glass replacement, storefronts, shower doors, tub enclosures, and acrylic. Alabama Central Glass also has vinyl windows, and they offer residential window repair. Call 345-3511 or visit the Alabama Central Glass showroom at 3878 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa.
Exam 4 needs to be sanitized.
Mersana's MRI clinic isn't operating at max efficiency. She needs a new certified tech certifiably now.
Someone's waiting in room 2 for an ACL scan. Can you handle that?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states, including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. As everyone knows, home values have skyrocketed. Chances are your home has gained a ton of equity. Why not use your home's equity to upgrade your house? How about a new pool in your backyard or a new kitchen? Turn your home's equity into cash with a cash-out refinance loan from Cash Call Mortgage. If your mortgage interest rate doesn't start with a 2, we may be able to lower your mortgage rate and get you cash. See just how low our rates are at cashcallmortgage.com. Get started on upgrading your house with a cash-out refi from Cash Call Mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-745-1952. That's 800-745-1952. 800-745-1952.
Football season's here. Time to cheer on the home team. Another team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa, your hometown BMW dealership. Our roster of players is here to ensure you draft the right car. Our starting lineup of new 2021 BMW vehicles is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to balance dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Mostly cloudy with occasional showers and thunderstorms likely through tonight. The high today 76, tonight's low 72. Tomorrow and Wednesday, wet weather continues. Mostly cloudy with showers and storms likely both days. Highs between 77 and 80. I'm James Spain on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 81 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, Schaefer Plastic Surgery and their patients treated like family and natural beauty will be revealed in the safest ways possible, transforming the results and superior care. Their patients benefit from the innovative expertise, professionalism of Dr. Chris Schaefer, a nationally recognized expert innovator in aesthetic plastic surgery. He combines experience gained from nearly 2 decades in practice, 8 years in advanced training to achieve beautiful, transformative results for his patients. And as a board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Schaefer's goal is to exceed expectations while being dedicated to safety before, during, and after the procedures. The great thing about Dr. Schaefer is, number one, he treats you like family, but you come in free consultation. You don't have to worry about paying for that. A lot of doctors are going to make you pay for the consultation. He just wants to get to know you and have a chance to really kind of figure out what's the best way to bring out that natural beauty that you have. And also, I was actually talking to somebody I know that's about to be a patient, and said they love the fact that they have their own surgery centers right there in-house. And they have a deep commitment to highest standards of patient safety at their private surgery center, which, by the way, has been recognized by the American Association for Accreditation of Ambulatory Surgery Facilities. So check them out at SchaeferPlasticSurge.com. That's SURG, SchaeferPlasticSurge.com, or give them a call at 205-278-7969. That's 278-7969, located on Highway 280 across from Grandview Hospital. That's Dr. Schaefer, Dr. Christopher Schaefer, and Schaefer Plastic Surgery.
All right, the jokes are flying fast and furious over our text messages about my last statement, and I'm not going to revisit it. But, Jay, do you think Tom Brady was nervous last night, and that's why he was missing on throws, and it was very uncharacteristic?
Yeah, it seemed like that he was probably a little bit caught up in the moment. It kind of looked that way in his eyes at the beginning of the game, to be honest. I normally look at eyes and kind of see where guys are, and you could tell that, not that he was in awe, but I think there was just a lot of emotions. I think his parents were there watching for the first time in a long time. They had their own box. His wife was there. I mean, it was like a Super Bowl, not quite as much, but still just the emotional part of it. Coming back, hearing the fans cheer for you, then they boo you, which, I mean, he understood that and got it and really respected the fact that they would be pulling for their team. But I think he wanted so bad to come in and have a great game. And I do think if Rob Gronkowski would have been there, I think he's kind of that security blanket for Tom as well in a moment like that would have, kind of helped him through the game. But he didn't have quite the numbers he wanted, no touchdowns, through the air. That's uncommon for him, but they still got the win. And, he drove him down the field, got him in position. and they should have been up by 3 more points than what they were because they missed the field goal about 26, 27 yards.
Yeah.
It should have been made. So I think he was probably just at the end sigh of relief going, I got through it. We won the game. If they didn't win the game, I think there'd have been a lot more criticism coming towards him. But again, Mac Jones, the plan that they had on defense against Tom, they kept swapping up the fronts and the looks and coverages, everything. You could see even Bill Belichick, who normally doesn't get involved in the play calls. He's over there. I saw him saying 3-4 and something, which was, telling you that they were trying to switch up almost every, not series, but like almost every down, different looks and different things.
I think Tampa has the best front four, actually probably the best front seven in football.
Stopping the run especially.
It was clear that they were going after at Mac Jones and the Patriots offense. They're going after Richard Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every single play, and Sherman just got toasted. I mean, the guy's been out of football all year, and he'd only been with the Bucs for a few days. But just a wonderful performance by Mac Jones.
All right, we're glad you joined us today, whether it's been on Bama Insider, whether it's been on our network across the state down the Gulf Coast as well on the Jay Barker Radio Network. Lars Anderson, Jay Barker, and we'll continue tomorrow. We got more to come as far as interviews, guests to be joining us throughout the week, as well as we're getting ready for the big matchup for Alabama, Texas A&M, and all the other big matches around the SEC and around the country. So have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Tuesday edition here live from AVX.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamers, a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the